We're going to work off of basically the outside of or off the rubber type pitching. Just throwing the baseball to the plate is definitely not the only thing a pitcher has to do. He has a lot of responsibilities that really kind of dictate what happens basically offensively for the other team. We'll talk about situational pitching at a later time, but today is basically where we're going to work on is doing pickoffs at each base. We're going to go all the way around the horn from first base to second base, two types of picks there. We're going to work on pickoff to third base. And what we'll do there is we'll do a kind of as a right-hander to first as well. So this move is definitely at third base. We'll give you a shot as left-handers to really try to pick up a good right-handed move to third and really adapt it to yourself to first base. Unfortunately, I can't throw left-handed to the other side, so it just makes it a little difficult. What we're going to do is we're going to start off at first base, and the first thing we want to talk about is how we hold runners. The pickoff is really not the only way to hold a runner here, and especially as a right-hander, getting pickoffs is really not the main objective. Picking somebody off at first base is really kind of a bonus out of the whole thing. Our whole premise every time that we have a runner on is really to work on disrupting his timing, disrupting any time, just kind of keeping him off balance so he doesn't know which way to go, whether he needs to go back to the bag, whether he feels comfortable going to second base. So the first thing we're going to talk about is varying our times to the plate. So what we're going to do is I'll go up top of the mound, we'll talk through it a little bit, is that when we vary time, that what we can do here is every time I come set, and I know a lot of young pitchers, if they're going to pick, they usually come up and down and just pick right away. Okay, so usually that's a big indicator, and every time that I hold the ball, boom, young pitchers really like to hold it for just the same exact amount of time. So I see a lot of kids, and we teach them is they'll come up and go 1/1000 and they'll just pitch to the plate. A good right-handed pitcher is going to know when and how long to hold. So all that time has to vary. So me as a pitcher, I'm going to come up one time, and I'm going to hold. I might hold for 1 second, and then I pitch. The next time I might come up, I might count to myself 1001, 1002, 1003, and then I pitch. The next time around, I come up and hold, and then I'll step off. A move like that, and all three of those are really going to disrupt a good base runner's timing. And if you hold the ball for any length of time, especially a guy that really wants to go, you're going to deaden out his legs. Okay, so then you can step off. It's very good if you can control your balance and your movement on the mound, that you can hold it until somebody calls time. Or if there's a point in that time that nobody is, then you can step off. But that's usually a great way to deaden out a fast runner, deaden out his legs. Again, coming up set, okay, so 1001, 1002, and then we can go to the plate. Okay, so vary those times. It's very crucial as a right-handed pitcher. Okay, so the next thing here is when we pick. Okay, so I'll give you a couple different timings, and then we'll go through the footwork. Timing can come at any time, and you can come up, as you come up, you can pick. As you come all the way down, you can pick. As you don't even have to set, you can come over and pick. There's all these different variables that will make a base runner very uncomfortable with his position over there. You also don't want to make sure that you're not paying too much attention to a base runner and taking all your focus off your major task at hand, and that's to get the hitter out. But if you're in control of the whole situation on your timing, and it's not an excitable movement, it's not rushed, it's not panicky, then you'll be able to hold this runner effectively and still be very effective at the plate and get this guy out. So what we're going to do is going to go through some of the footwork here. That's very important. So what we do is we're going to draw a line from the outside edge of the rubber just to kind of show a positive or negative step. So as a right-hander, I'll come into a set position. My back foot must disengage first. Okay, so what I mean by that is this foot, my back foot, needs to come off the rubber first before I can pick to first base. So as I come set, this foot comes out and a little slight turn in so I can open up and throw to first base. Okay, why I put that line there, because quite a few pitchers, especially young ones I see and the older ones I do see, is that they start to step out to come over to first base. And that's what we call a negative step, because you're taking part of your body momentum and carrying yourself out towards third base and then back towards first. Okay, and it just takes that slight second longer to get you over first base, and it really spreads out your base and on your pick. So some guys really get too wide, and that forces them or lessens the chance that their hips get through and they can get to first base accurately. I'm going to go through some picks. I'll go through them slowly. Okay, so we'll come set. Back foot's going to come in, open up and throw. Okay, and as you see, my foot, my target is all in one line. I'm going to keep myself fairly direct right to first base. Okay, so we'll come set, in, and directly to first base. Okay, so as we get this footwork, the quicker we can get. So we can start to speed up. Okay, as we get better and better, we just keep speeding up. It's not so much the throw. So there's a big kind of a fallacy that you can go out and just throw as hard as you can to first base. But if you look at it, the harder you throw, that means you really got to wind up to get a strong velocity to first base. And really, the base runner at first base is all on reaction time. Whatever he sees an odd movement, he's going to react. So even though you're throwing really hard over to first base, you're really giving it away too early. So as well as the lower body, we really have to concentrate on the upper body. And the upper body, we're not going to get ourselves into a big high arm slot. We're going to make sure that we kind of stay somewhat low, slightly sidearm, but we're going to make sure we're up. We're not going to be way down here. So if you notice, we're going to come here and almost across my body here. Okay, foot in, cross, and throw. Okay, so now we're going to quicken this up a little bit. Right, Mitch? Okay, so now we'll quicken it up. So a good way to train on this to get a guy a little bit quicker as he goes, once he gets the footwork down, is to pull the stopwatch out and start to time how quick he can get over to first base under control. So I'll vary my set here. Okay, and the big thing for me is not always to put it on the tag. I'm going to put it around thigh high. This will give me a chance, or give my first baseman a chance to catch the ball and put the tag in himself. If I get too far, get too precise on putting it right on the tag, more times than not I'm going to throw the ball away or throw it up the line.